Hello friends, today we are going to discuss the role of Competition Commission of India known as CCI in regulating the combination in Indian market. Friends, as we all know, India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The growth process is driven both by organic and inorganic growth of enterprises. Mergers and acquisitions are the examples of inorganic growth of companies. These transactions are advantageous to the economy but simultaneously may have adverse effect on competition in the market. Let us see the CCI as a regulatory body to regulate the impacts of mergers and acquisitions on the competition in Indian market. Competition Commission of India has been established under Competition Act 2002. This act follows the philosophy of modern competition laws and aims at fostering competition and protecting Indian markets against the anti-competitive practices. The fundamental objective of the Competition Act is to prevent anti-competitive agreements, to prevent abuse of dominant position and to regulate combination with a view to ensure that there is no adverse effect on competition in India. Now, before we go into the technicalities of the role of CCI, we should understand what is merger, acquisition and combination. There is no statutory definition of merger and acquisition in Indian legal framework, but the authoritative book on mergers and acquisition by Winberg and Blank tries to explain these terms. As per this book, merger may be defined as an agreement whereby the asset of two companies becomes vested in or under the control of one company, which may or may not be one of the original two companies. Whereas takeovers may be defined as a transaction or series of transactions whereby a company acquires control over the assets of another company either directly by becoming the owner of those assets or indirectly by obtaining the control of the management of the company. Both of these transactions deals with the transfer of control from one enterprises to another. The term control has been defined under SEBI Takeover Code 2011 and Companies Act 2013. Let us look at the definition of control given under Companies Act 2013 so that we can understand its relationship with the term combination. Section 2, subsection 27 of the Companies Act 2013 express control shall include the right to appoint majority of the directors or to control the management or policy decisions exercisable by a person or persons acting individually or in concert, directly or indirectly, including by virtue of their shareholdings or management rights or shareholders agreement or voting right agreements or in any other manner. Competition Act does not cover terminology like mergers and acquisition. It expresses all these transactions under the term combination. I am sure now the first question that comes to our mind is, what is combination? Broadly, combination under the Competition Act means acquisition of control, shares, voting rights or assets. Whenever there is an acquisition of control by a person over an enterprise where such person has direct or indirect control over another enterprises engaged in competing business, and mergers and amalgamation between or amongst enterprises when the combining parties exceed the threshold set in the Act. The threshold are specified in the Act in terms of assets or turnover in India and outside India. Entering into a combination which causes or is likely to cause an appreciable adverse effect on competition within the relevant market in India is prohibited, and such combination shall be void. The provisions of the Act relating to regulations of combinations have been enforced with effect from 4 June 2011. I would like to ask you one question. Is it possible to review all combinations? It is neither feasible nor advisable. It is natural to presume that in the case of small size combination, there is less likelihood of appreciable adverse effect on competition in markets in India. Thus, the Act provides for sufficiently high financial thresholds in terms of assets or turnovers for mandatory notification to the Commission. On this basis, combination becomes subject of scrutiny by CCI. Current threshold for the combined assets or turnovers of the combining parties is divided into two categories, individual and group. Threshold for individual is when either the combined asset of the enterprises are more than 1,500 crores in India, or the combined turnover of the enterprises is more than 4,500 crores in India. In case either or both of the enterprises have asset or turnover outside India also, then the combined asset of both the enterprises are more than 750 million US dollars, including at least 750 crores in India, or turnover is more than 2,250 million US dollars, including at least 2,250 crores in India. Threshold for group is when the group to which the enterprise whose control, shares, assets or voting rights are being acquired would belong after the acquisition, or the group to which the enterprise remaining the merger or amalgamation would belong has either asset of more than 6,000 crores in India or turnover more than 18,000 crores in India. Where the group has presence in India as well as outside India, then group has assets more than 3 billion US dollar, including at least 750 crores in India, or turnover more than 9 billion US dollar, including at least 2,250 crores in India. The term group has been explained in the Act. Two enterprises belong to a group if one is in the position to exercise at least 26% voting rights, or appoint at least 50% of the directors, or control the management or affair in the other. By Notification 481 dated 4th March 2011, the government has exempted group exercising less than 50% of voting rights in other enterprises from the provisions of Section 5 of the Act for a period of 5 years. The review process for combination under the Act involves mandatory pre-combination notification to the Commission. Any person or enterprises proposing to enter into a combination shall give notice to the Commission in the specified form, disclosing the details of the proposed combination within 30 days of the approval of the proposal relating to mergers or amalgamation by the Board of Directors, or of the execution of any agreement or other document in relation to the acquisition, as the case may be. The proposed combination cannot take effect for a period of 210 days from the date it notifies the Commission, or till the Commission passes an order, whichever is earlier. If the Commission does not pass an order during the set period of 210 days, the combination shall be deemed to have been approved. The draft regulations propose to dispose of notifications within 30 days in respect of combination, which in the opinion of the Commission has little or no potential for appreciable adverse effect on competition in Indian market. The Commission also has the power to impose a fine which may extend to 1% of the total turnover or the assets of the combination, whichever is higher, for failure to give notice to the Commission of the combination. In exercise of the power conferred by Clause A of the Section 54 of the Act, the central government in public interest has exempted two transactions from notifying CCI about combinations. 1. An enterprise whose control, shares, voting rights or assets are being acquired has either assets of the value of not more than 250 crores in India or turnover of not more than 750 crores in India from the provisions of Section 5 of the said Act for a period of 5 years. 2. A banking company in respect of which the central government has issued a notification under Section 45 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949 from the application of the provision of Section 5 and 6 of the Act for a period of 5 years. If the Commission within 30 days from the receipt of the notice is prima facie of the opinion that a combination has caused or is likely to cause adverse effect on competition in Indian market, it shall issue a notice to show cause to the parties as to why investigation in respect of such combination should not be conducted. On receipt of the response, if Commission is of the prima facie opinion that combination has or is likely to have appreciable adverse effect on competition, the Commission shall deal with the notice as per the provision of the Act, Section 29 and 30. Combination evaluation covers the following process. 1. Identification of the relevant market consisting of relevant product market and relevant geographic market in relation to combination. Second, consideration whether the proposed combination has appreciable adverse effect on competition in the relevant market in India. Grounds analyzing the appreciable adverse effect on competition have been listed in subsection 4 of section 20 of the Act. Presence of these grounds can invoke the action by CCI against proposed combination. And third, approval, rejection or approval with modification of the combination. Most of the possible anticipated anti-competitive effects of combination can be remedied without holding back the combination itself. Combination analysis consists of assessment of the likely anti-competitive effect of the mergers and how such effect could be minimized or eliminated. Prohibition is considered only when remedies are either not available or not feasible. Thus, the CCI may approve the combination which does not have appreciable adverse effect on the competition and direct the companies to modify their scheme of combinations if it is going to adversely affect the competition within 30 days. Failure on the part of the companies to carry out modification may lead to the rejection of combination. If any party to the competition is not satisfied with the decision of the CCI, may file an appeal to the Competition Appellate Tribunal within 60 days of receipt of the order or direction or decision of the Commission under section. Dear friends, this is the legal position of CCI as a regulatory body of combination. As per New Companies Act, approval of CCI for mergers and acquisitions has become mandatory. The decision of CCI is significant while executing the combination. CCI has power to impose penalties on the companies in case of failure of aforesaid directions. Case studies in the reference to penalties will be discussed in forthcoming videos. Hope you have got a good insight on the role of CCI as a regulatory body of combinations in India. Until we meet again, bye.